Gamescom opening night live was packed with trailers, but what really grabbed us in particular was the new trailer for the dark fantasy RPG, The Lords of the Fallen, which is being developed by Hexworks, who are rebooting the 2014 title, who are under CI Games. While we didn't get any gameplay this time, we did get a few minutes of cinematic trailer, so we'll be going over what we saw in that trailer in a brief overview. The trailer kicks off with narrator actor Joseph Quinn, who is instantly recognizable if you've watched Stranger Things, and then it's blended in with some heavy metal with Mother, which is just so fitting. Firstly, it follows a knight, a dark crusader, who looks to be carrying two types of weapons, the first being a large sword to fight off the undead with your classic melee combat. The second is a glowing medieval torch, which seems to have some sort of mystical powers or some sort of tentacle strings. It seems to exercise the red glow of the undead. A potential boss fight that goes awry, leading to the main character being stabbed and then left for dead, but the glowing lantern seems to possess some sort of power that restores life to the knight. Maybe it has a limited number of lives to give. The mechanic seems to be a little unclear at this point. The trailer gives away some of the enemies players will face, including, as I said previously, a potential boss fight, which poses quite the challenge, ending with the main character falling into a pit of undead skeletons. Another enemy shown during the trailer is the three-headed flying dragon of sorts, another boss or potential mini-boss fight perhaps. So the world looks to be steeped in more of a medieval fantasy with some magical or supernatural influence, especially with that glowing lantern. The first title also used a mix of melee and magical spells with a strong Dark Souls influence. There could be the continuation of this, but new abilities by the looks of it. From the press release, developer Hexworks has revealed that in this entry of the game it takes place 1,000 years after the events of the first game, so it would be a whole new adventure to experience. The worlds are interconnecting, so there could be a variation in types of regions you could set foot in. It's set to be 5 times larger than the original game, so the scale will be much bigger than the feel of the prequel. The world also will be filled with NPC quests, characters, and also a rich story to follow. What's also interesting, as when the game was first announced, it was called Lords of the Fallen 2, but this announcement has seemed to have dropped the 2. This might be to do with concentrating on a different story slightly from the first, as the timeline is now 1,000 years later. The first title focused on Harkin, who faces the Rogar army, and Andir, who are banished to a different realm. The interconnected worlds sound like there could be more realms, more possibilities to explore, or possible threats. The video description does mention that the quest is still to overthrow Andir, who is the demon god, and the video shows their influence once again gripping the world. You'll be creating your own hero, but no details of how customized the character aesthetics will be, but in terms of progression and customization, there's a full range for your character. You can embark on a journey in the solo campaign or team up with a second player in uninterrupted online co-op, which is a brand new feature for this IP. The tactical combat sets to be fast and fluid with the use of spells and character buffs for magic. This could especially be useful in co-op, as you could help buff your partner. So far we don't know if this will be like an Elden Ring, if you can use summons to help you in battle, or purely ranged magic. Hexworks has quite the talent working on the game, as executive producer Sol Gaskin has worked on the likes of Dead by Daylight and Payday 2, so that could work in the favour of the co-op features mentioned. Then there's creative director Cesar Fotosu, who has worked on Shadow of the Tomb Raider and also Assassin's Creed Origins, which has some amazing worlds. We can't wait to see more of this game, as it looks like they're breathing fresh air into the franchise, and the world sounds like a more expansive realm with more opportunities to explore, especially with the use of Unreal Engine 5, which has some stunning graphics for next-gen consoles as well as PC. The Lords of the Fallen will be releasing on PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. So far there's no release date, but we will be getting a full gameplay for the game later this year. So what did you guys think of the trailer? What are you hoping that they're bringing to the Lords of the Fallen in this entry? Let us know in the comments below.